Okay, great, Chris. So now we're going to get into the difference between the quantity of leads you get and the quality of leads you get. So, Chris, obviously, you and I manage Google Ads campaigns for clients. This idea of quality versus quantity of leads, for me at least, has come from that experience of managing campaigns for clients and hearing from clients, whether it's like a longtime client or a new client, you start getting some leads, you get a quantity of leads, you start showing conversions, but they're not happy with those conversions. They want better conversions. Or sometimes it's a new client that comes to you and says, "Hey, I have a problem with my current management. I'm trying to get more business. I'm trying to get good leads. And every time I convey that to the manager, they tell me, well, look at your conversions. We're getting you conversions." And there's a disconnect between the number of conversions or leads you get and then how many of those leads actually become paying customers for a business. So have you heard that complaint from new people that come to you about previous management? And then also, have you had those discussions with clients on like, hey, maybe we need to stop focusing on quantity of leads and start focusing on better leads? Is this a valid topic in your experience?
Absolutely, it is. It is. I always love examples, so I'm going to say an example. Just yesterday, I did an audit on an account. It was an account that worked in the travel industry, okay, here in the U.S. And I opened up the account, and I immediately was intimidated. I'm like, oh wow, these guys are doing amazing. They had like in 90 days, they had like 1,000 conversions, and
Yeah.
there's quantity. Boom. I mean, but why are they reaching out to me? Obviously, they're doing great. They had like a 25% conversion rate, just phenomenal. Really low CPC, and I'm like, well, Chris, they're calling you because they're having some issues. So I dig a little further, and wouldn't you know, it is absolutely quantity. There is actually no quality that's happening.
Wow.
It was just button clicks. It was button clicks on their schedule, a meeting. That's all it was. So people were clicking the button, but they weren't actually booking. They were just going to the booking page. So what they were essentially tracking as a conversion is the volume of people going to a booking page, but not the actual bookings. That's a worthless high volume metric. And even though Google Ads said they were getting, $5 cost per conversion, in reality, they were getting no quality at all. They were getting
So
nothing out of it.
I'm going to call that second level thinking, which is deeper than first level. First level is we need to get conversions.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get your conversions, you think you're happy and you think you made it. So that's first level thinking. Second level is, well, what actually defines these conversions? How much quality is there to these conversions? Like, are they actually real leads or not? And in this example, there's not a sign that they're actual leads because it's just people click on a schedule button, but it doesn't track if they've actually scheduled a booking or a
Right.
consultation. But
Right.
there's also third level thinking, which makes things even more difficult, which is
Inception.
say in this example, people are booking consultations and that is being tracked. What we're kind of getting to today is, well, even when someone does schedule, what is the likelihood they're going to go from a consultation to actually being a paying customer, and looking at leads instead of just quantity, the actual quality and how many of those people actually become paying customers? That's like the third level. And we haven't discussed it a lot on this show, but it is a serious problem that comes up where people are getting real leads,
Yeah.
but they're not happy with the quality of them. And so, what we'll be talking about today is using the things you can control to get better quality. And Chris, I just want to throw this out there. Sometimes better quality means a lower quantity, and it means a higher cost per conversion, a higher cost per lead. And a lot of people in this space can't live with that, whether it's the manager or the advertiser, because we're so trained to focusing on getting the most leads, getting that conversion count up high, and then getting the cost per conversion as low as possible. It really takes a radical mindset shift to accept that the cost per lead might be higher if you're getting better leads. Can you kind of speak to that and talk about that struggle that some people
I
might
mean,
have with that concept?
I just had a conversation with a client last week, and they told me, Chris, our closing rates are going down. So I made some decisions, and we discussed. And of course, as Jason, you would know what would happen if their closing rate is going down. What I'm going to focus on is quality of leads. And
Yeah.
just like you said, cost per conversion would go up. That's exactly what happened. And I,
Wow.
within a couple days, got some panic messages of, we had our least conversions ever in 3 months yesterday. What's going on? And this is absolutely the freak out. The giant red report arrow pointing down. If you're looking at the overview page, or you're looking at some dashboard or something like that, you're going to see down arrows. And you have to understand that quality and quantity are typically inverse of each other. You can always get more, but it's not going to guarantee quality. So yeah, you're exactly right. The panic sets in because all the reports are going to point you towards, oh, you got less clicks. Oh, you got less conversions. Oh, your CPC is up. Oh, your cost per conversion is up. And those are all going to be red arrows. They're not going to be green.
And the other thing that makes this difficult is it's very tough when people look at that Google Ads mobile app. And that's when you kind of get the messages. That's when you get the urgent messages from clients.
Yeah.
What's going on? What makes it tough is you can check the conversion count, the difference in conversion quantity anytime. You can check it anytime, and it's right there and accessible for you. What was our revenue this month? How has the last quarter been versus the previous year? That stuff takes time to develop, and it takes time for these leads to schedule and then actually pay, and then watch that revenue come in. And if it's a recurring business model, watch the revenue continue to come in, and compare that to what you were getting previously. That takes a longer amount of time. So definitely takes the right mindset and the right, there's a certain level of communication that's needed between whoever's managing the Google Ads account and the business owner to kind of pursue higher quality leads from Google Ads and moving that to be the goal instead of quantity. So with that said, I think it is the right goal. Obviously, the quality of leads should be a better goal or a higher priority than the quantity, because quality of leads leads to more actual revenue. And that's what's important here.
And you'll work the heck out of your sales team, right? You might say, I want volume, but in the end, your sales team's going to start to hate you because they're wasting time. They're grinding through phone calls and emails and things when all of these people are unqualified. You're going to pay one way or another. You might be able to get volume, but you're going to pay on the back end for what you're bringing in, and it's not going to be profitable.
Yeah, and it's not just sales teams. It's say you sign people up, but maybe you might be in a boutique, high touch service industry, maybe like we are. And if you take on the wrong clients that are not high quality,
lots of
it's going to lead to a lot of stress and a lot of turnover.